What started as a fleeting moment in a short video clip quickly turned into a full-blown online debate, with Jin of BTS suddenly finding himself at the center of a misunderstanding that sent social media into overdrive. The controversy erupted after a snippet from an older broadcast resurfaced online, allegedly showing Jin making a firm statement that idols are not allowed to date. The edited clip spread rapidly across multiple platforms, sparking heated discussions among casual viewers and critics who interpreted the remark as confirmation of strict industry rules or a personal stance from the singer himself. Within hours, Jin's name climbed trending lists worldwide, with thousands of posts dissecting his tone, expression, and the context surrounding the line. However, longtime fans, known collectively as ARMY, moved just as quickly to untangle the narrative. Many began circulating the original, uncut version of the footage, revealing that the viral fragment had been trimmed in a way that significantly altered its meaning. In the full clip, Jin was not laying down a serious rule or expressing a rigid belief. Instead, he appeared to be joking within a light-hearted conversation, responding playfully rather than delivering a definitive statement about idols' personal lives. As side-by-side comparisons flooded timelines, ARMY provided translations, timestamps, and explanations to demonstrate how the editing shifted the tone of the exchange. They emphasized that Jin has repeatedly spoken about respecting privacy and individual choice, and that the resurfaced clip was taken from a context where humor and banter were clearly present. The rapid fan-led clarification began to cool the backlash, replacing outrage with renewed debate about how easily short-form videos can distort intent when stripped of their surrounding moments. The incident also reignited broader conversations about the pressures K-pop idols face under constant public scrutiny. Observers noted how quickly narratives can form around a single line, especially when content is shared without source links or full translations. For Jin, who is widely known for his wit and self-deprecating humor, supporters argued that the situation highlighted a familiar pattern: casual remarks being reframed into controversial headlines once they leave their original setting. While neither Jin nor his agency immediately issued an official statement, the swift response from fans effectively shifted the tone of the discourse. Trending hashtags moved from accusatory phrasing to messages of clarification and support, with many users urging others to verify clips before drawing conclusions. Screenshots of the original broadcast, longer video segments, and archival links continued circulating, underscoring how collective digital literacy within fandom communities can counteract misleading edits in real time. In the end, what began as a viral accusation turned into a reminder of the fragile line between entertainment and controversy in the age of algorithm-driven platforms. For Jin, the episode appeared less like a scandal and more like another example of how quickly narratives can spiral, and how just as quickly they can be corrected when viewers take a moment to look beyond a few seconds of video. The situation did not fade quietly after the initial wave of clarification. Instead, it evolved into a wider reflection on the responsibility of content creators who repost old footage without context, especially when dealing with globally recognized figures like Jin. Many fans pointed out that the clip in question dated back years, filmed during a period when variety shows often relied on exaggerated humor and playful teasing to entertain audiences. Stripped from that setting, the line lost its original tone and was reborn as something far more rigid and controversial than intended. Commentators across different platforms began weighing in on how selective editing can reshape public perception in seconds. Media analysts and longtime K-pop observers noted that idols operate in an environment where every sentence can be archived, re-uploaded, and reframed for entirely new audiences who may not be familiar with the speaker's personality or history. In Jin's case, supporters highlighted how his reputation has long been tied to candid jokes and exaggerated reactions, arguing that the viral edit clashed sharply with the image he has consistently shown throughout his career. ARMY continued to push back against the misleading narrative by encouraging critical viewing habits, reminding users to seek original sources and full translations before amplifying claims. Threads compiling Jin's past comments about personal freedom, individuality, and respect for boundaries gained traction, reframing the discussion around his broader record rather than a single isolated clip. The fandom's coordinated effort transformed the episode into a teachable moment about misinformation in fan spaces, where enthusiasm and outrage can both spread at lightning speed. Meanwhile, neutral observers began to acknowledge how quickly the story had shifted once context was restored. Posts that initially criticized Jin were quietly deleted or amended, replaced with acknowledgments that the clip had been edited in a way that skewed its meaning. Some users apologized publicly for sharing the video without checking its source, while others called for platforms to do more to discourage misleading edits that can damage reputations before corrections catch up. Rather than leaving lasting harm, the controversy gradually settled into a footnote within Jin's long and closely watched career, overshadowed by ongoing discussions about BTS's influence and the evolving relationship between idols and their audiences. Still, the episode lingered as a case study in how digital culture rewards speed over accuracy, and how fandom communities often become the first line of defense when narratives go astray. As the conversation slowed, many fans expressed hope that moments like this would encourage more careful consumption of viral content, especially when language barriers and cultural context are involved. For Jin, the rapid clarification from ARMY served as yet another demonstration of the deep bond between artist and supporters, a network ready to step in when misunderstandings threaten to eclipse the truth behind a few seconds of video. In the days that followed, the incident continued to circulate as an example of how easily fragments of media can be weaponized, intentionally or not, in the fast-moving ecosystem of social platforms. Discussion threads expanded beyond Jin himself, branching into debates about ethical editing practices and the role of algorithms in boosting provocative content over nuanced explanations. Many users observed that clips framed to spark outrage are often rewarded with higher engagement, creating a cycle in which controversy travels faster than context. Within fan communities, the episode also sparked internal conversations about tone and strategy when responding to misinformation. Some ARMY members advocated for calm, evidence-based corrections rather than emotional rebuttals, arguing that screenshots, timestamps, and full translations were far more persuasive than heated exchanges. Others pointed out that the collective effort to archive and resurface original broadcasts has become an increasingly sophisticated form of digital activism, one that reflects how global fandoms have adapted to years of similar situations involving public figures. Industry watchers noted that such controversies are hardly new, but the scale at which they now unfold has changed dramatically. What once might have remained confined to a small forum can now cross languages and continents in minutes, propelled by repost accounts and short-form video platforms optimized for quick consumption. Jin's case, they suggested, illustrated how even well-known personalities with established reputations are not immune to sudden narrative shifts when old content is repackaged for new audiences. As attention slowly drifted elsewhere, the edited clip lost momentum, replaced by fresh headlines and trending topics. Yet for many observers, the takeaway remained clear. The power of editing can redefine a story, and the responsibility to verify lies not only with creators, but also with viewers who choose to share or question what appears on their feeds. The brief storm around Jin ultimately underscored a modern reality. Fame today is not just about music and performances, but about navigating an endless archive of moments that can resurface at any time. By the end of the cycle, the narrative had largely settled in Jin's favor, shaped less by the original accusation and more by the collective clarification that followed. The episode closed not with an official rebuttal, but with a broader reminder echoed across comment sections and fan threads alike. In an era dominated by snippets and scrolls, context remains the most powerful tool of all. Even after the conversation cooled, the episode lingered in online memory as another snapshot of the delicate balance between celebrity culture and digital virality. Screenshots of the misleading edit continued to resurface sporadically, only to be met almost instantly with links to the full footage and explanations from fans who had bookmarked the incident as a reference point for future debates. What might once have been forgotten became part of an ever-growing archive of case studies on how narratives are built and dismantled within minutes. Some commentators suggested that situations like this could eventually push entertainment companies and broadcasters to be more proactive in preserving and reposting official, unedited versions of older content, ensuring that original context is easier to find when fragments go viral years later. Others argued that the burden still largely falls on audiences, especially in international fandoms, where translations and cultural nuance play a crucial role in shaping interpretation. Jin's case, they noted, demonstrated how humor rooted in a specific moment or setting can be misunderstood once removed from its original framework and shared with viewers unfamiliar with that background. Within the broader K-pop landscape, the incident fit into a recurring pattern of micro-controversies that flare up around dating norms, privacy, and idol autonomy, topics that have long fascinated and divided fans and critics alike. While Jin himself remained silent publicly, supporters framed the lack of response not as avoidance, but as confidence that the truth had already surfaced through the full clip and widespread clarification. The speed at which the narrative corrected itself was, in their eyes, proof of how interconnected and vigilant modern fandoms have become. Ultimately, the story did not redefine Jin's image so much as reinforce it. To many, the affair highlighted the contrast between a few seconds of edited footage and years of public appearances characterized by warmth, humor, and candidness. As timelines moved on, the controversy became less about the singer and more about the mechanics of online outrage, how it ignites, how it spreads, and how, with enough scrutiny, it can fade just as quickly. What remained was a quiet consensus among many observers. The next viral clip would inevitably arrive, starring someone else, sparking another round of debate. But for a moment, Jin's experience had offered a clear reminder of the stakes involved when context is lost, and of the collective power fans wield when they choose to slow the scroll, look deeper, and bring the full story back into focus.